Hey guys, it's the Unsmooth Criminal, and I'm here to explain. If you guys are in the Discord, we reset the XP after 3 o'clock PST, uh, Pacific Standard Time, or 6 o'clock EST, Eastern Standard Time, for Americans. We reset the LXP like that, so next week, when I have the Q&A again, everybody has the same chance of getting into the top 10. And the top 10 is going to be the most social people on the Discord. So I'm probably going to be in the top 10 again. So my two admins are probably going to be in the top 10. I'm going to probably add more admins when I get bigger, more people in the Discord. So if you guys want to join the Discord and you guys communicate with me enough and I can trust you enough, I will make you an admin. And then if I trust you as an admin, I'll make you a trusted admin, which allows you to do a lot more than just be an admin and do stuff that admins can do. So that's just a quick update about the Discord and why, if you go back in there, ranks are reset to 0. Everybody's rank 1 because everybody is a level 0. Oh, when you start typing, you'll start getting experience, and you go further up or down in the rankings. But that's why everybody resets on XP each week. If you enjoy typing and having fun in the chat for Discord, then you'll enjoy being in the top 10 for a long time. Top 10s have their own private chat where they can talk to each other. They can discuss privately with me because I try to friend all the top 10s and discuss privately on messages. But if you're not in the top 10, I won't guarantee that I'll get back to your messages immediately. Okay? If you want a private chat, it's easier if you're in the top 10, because then I'll see you're in the top 10. You're most social. You'll probably get back immediately. So I'll try to keep up up to date on the top 10 people. Now that I got that out of the way, update for the rankings. Everybody who has a red name now is in the top 10. There's going to be yellow named people that are admins. And then there's going to be light green named people. Those are the trusted admins. And then there's 2 people in the Discord that are the number one knucklehead. Number one knucklehead. That's only me. I can only be the number one knucklehead. Okay? And then anybody whose normal rank is called a thug. Because just at everybody is just annoying. At thug is better. So, everybody, when you join, your name will turn green. So you're average. I'm going to see if I can make a top 20. So it's from 20 to 11. But that will come later. So that's just an update. That explains to you why I did what I did with the rankings and the experience. So, if you want to be in the top 10 and get the bonuses from being in the top 10, hop onto the server, start chatting, and maybe one of the admins will chat with you. Since there's only 3 admins, maybe me, Mina, or Sis will chat with you, and we can get to know you. And if I start to trust you enough to be an admin, I'll see about you, see what your skills are on Discord. I'll probably have Mina help me with that, because he's the Discord whiz that we have. And I'll probably have him test you on your Discord knowledge, and he will tell you the rules for being an admin, because he's better at this stuff than me. So he's gonna fill you in on that. Then, if you want to be an admin, just start typing in Discord. And if I get to know you enough, I get to trust you enough on Discord to be on Discord, then I will ask you if you would like to be an admin. So, just try to reach out to me at some point. Just try to. I will see everybody's message if it's in private message. Just it might take me a while because if everybody joins the Discord, well, there's a lot of people in the Discord. So, hopefully you listen to me ranting about the Discord. Hopefully you understand what I've been ranting about. Sorry if it's a little too much of a rant. But, on to the what if. Yes, this is going to be a what if. This is a quick little side note that I had to get by because we just reset all the experience for the Discord. So the top 10 are just the top 10 for this week. If you want to stay in the top 10, continue to support the Discord by just chatting, having fun on the Discord. My cat's freaked out. All of his hair is standing up on end. But let's get on to the what if. And if you guys are already on my Discord, you probably saw me hint what this what if is. And if you guys want to join, I'll probably find a way to put a link, or I'll probably put a link in the description. And this is going to be what if female Deku was a Manticore. So, the Manticore I'm thinking about is the body and head of a lion with the wings of a bat and the tail of a scorpion. So, this Manticore has the ears and eyes of a lion, the paws of a lion with human hand shapes, and this Manticore can fly. Yes, this Manticore will be able to fly. They will have a scorpion stinger. But there's 3 Manticore versions that I've seen. There's one with the head of a snake on the end of the tail, which is also another legend about a chimera, which has, I think, a head of a lion, head of a goat, and head of a snake for the tail. But we start our story off with a family, and this family has very strong beliefs. And the mother is a chemist, and the father is a military officer. And he is a very high-ranking military officer, and everybody who knows him knows that he doesn't like mutation quirks. And he has a very strong belief about mutation quirks, and people are, whenever a mutation quirk enters his squad, they're treated differently than everybody else, especially by him. Because he beats the idea that mutation quirks are bad and they're diseased on this world. So this girl is born to him, and she has ears, like dog ears. She has a scorpion-like tail and a bat-like wing, or wings, if you want to get more technical. And he sees this and is like, who the hell did you fuck to give me this monster? And he says this to his wife, playing up, and she goes, no one. And he's like, that ain't my child. And he has a private hospital, because militaries have private hospitals compared to the public, because military hospitals and public hospitals. So they're at a military hospital, and he orders one of the privates to pick up his child later and do whatever they want with it. And he goes, sir, yes, sir. And it's one of his squad, so his squad feels bad for this child, but they have to act rude to it. They have to act mean to it. So he picks up the child roughly, and it's as soft as he can in front of the general without the general getting mad at him. And he takes the child all the way to the forest. And he contacted one of his family members, and this man with a bulky frame, a cat's tail, and cat paws on, shows up. And he goes, "Oh, thank God. I need your help." And he goes, "What do you need?" And he goes, "This child is being abandoned. And I don't want it to be abandoned." And he goes, "What? Why?" And he goes, "It's the general's child." And this man knows exactly what he means by him saying that it's the general's child. He goes, "Oh, I'll take it and I'll find it a home." And he goes, "Thank you." And he says, "You need to get behind my car real quick, and I'll take a picture of it just being on the side of the road, and then you can pick it up when you leave." And he goes, "Okay, I will." And so he does that. He puts the child on the side of the road and takes a picture of it and drives off. And the child starts whining because no one's there. It feels like it's alone. And Tiger, because yes, it's Tiger if you haven't noticed already, walks up to the child and says, Hey, calm down. You're safe now. Calm down." And he's waving his fake tail in front of her because he doesn't have a mutation quirk in this one. He has a strength quirk. He waves his fake tail in front of her and she starts playing with it. He goes, "Aw, that's cute. Now let's get you inside." And he picks her up and he just walks her to the lodge that Tiger, Pixie Bob, Mandalay, and Ragdoll are at. And they're like, "So what happened with your family member?" And he goes, "Well, my family member works for a general, and this general is very outspoken about mutation quirks." And they go, "Oh, okay, so what?" And he goes, "Well, he just abandoned his own child." And he holds up this child, and Mandalay, who does have a cat quirk, or yeah, she has cat ears, because lions are just big cats, who has a cat quirk, feels drawn to this child and goes, "But it's so cute! It's a baby kitten!" And he goes, "That could fly and has a scorpion's tail." "Yeah, it is cute, but it's also very dangerous." And she goes, "Yeah." So, before I continue the story, I just need to mention one thing. Manticores have the ability to use magic in the stories that they're based in, whether it be fire magic or poison magic. I'm going to give her the ability to use poison with her tail and also her claws and fangs. But her poison's base effects depend on what she eats that day. If it's, let's say, poisonous, if she eats a creature that has poison innately, her poison becomes poisonous, deadly, poisonous. If she eats a creature that has paralytic poison that day, she gains paralytic poison. If she just uses if she just drinks like a sleeping drug, her poison becomes like a sleeping drug. So her poison is very, very versatile if it's used right. Because the first kind of drug that she eats or drinks, because she has to be very careful what she eats because of this, is what she inflicts on other people. So we skip 5 years. Mandalay has been taking care of the child, and she's also been looking for a home. But every time that they find a home, they do a thorough background check, and they find that this home is rooted in this same belief that mutation quirks are bad, and that all mutation quirks are supposed to be eradicated. And they would only find this out if they wouldn't find this out if Mandalay wasn't paranoid for this child. And she's only paranoid for this child. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. So, the scores are reset when this is being recorded. The scores are reset. So if you guys are in the European, or if you guys are in Europe, midnight Swedish time is roughly when it's going to be reset. I'm going to have Mina show me how to do it, or I'm going to have him do it at 9 Swedish time. So, yeah. But back on topic. And Mandilay's been being paranoid, and she's gotten a very motherly bond with this child. And so she's just like, she's 4 now. Let's just keep her. And Pixie Bob and Ragdoll are like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I've already been taking care of her for the last 4 years. Let's just keep her. And they go, okay. So where is she going to sleep? And she goes, oh yeah, we can build her a room. And they go, true, but that also costs money, and we barely have enough money to keep this place. And she goes, we're just going to have to start working harder. And they go, we already work as hard as possible, so we could probably get Aizawa's help on that. And they go, oh, yes, Aizawa. And so they call up Aizawa and say, we have a child that was abandoned. We need help. And he goes, how much money? And they go, we don't need money. We need someone to take this child. And he goes, so you're giving me a child? And they go, yes. They have an ancestor of they have a form of cat quirk. And he goes, I'll do it. And Mandilay's like, yes. Pixie Bob is like, that was quick. Tiger's like, oh my god, she used his love for cats against him. And he goes, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And they go, whoa, 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 that's speeding. And he goes, I don't care. I'm getting there quickly. And so he arrives at the Wild West Pussycats lodge, and he goes, where's the cat quirk? And they point at the chimera that's behind them. And she's tall for her age. And she is muscular for her age. And she walks up and goes, who are you? And he goes, my name is Aizawa. And I'll be taking care of you from now on. And she goes, why? And Mandilay's like, because we can't take care of you anymore, but we will visit. And she goes, promise? And Mandalay goes, yes, I promise. And Mandalay walks up to her and whispers something in her ear, and her eyes widen, and she goes, yeah, that's where we get it from, him. And Aizawa was like, what did you say? And she goes, oh, no reason. I just convinced her with a few words to live with you. And he goes, okay. So they walk to she walks to the car, and she goes, that's small. And he goes, yeah, I didn't expect you to be the size of a 10-year-old as a 4-year-old. And she goes, sorry. And he goes, no. So what is your quirk? And she goes, size manipulation. I can't control it quite yet. And he goes, okay, I understand. Anything else? Transformation. He goes, into what? And she goes, a manticore. And he goes, okay, anything else? And she goes, poison. And what was the last thing that the doctor said? And Mandalay walks up to them and says, indestructibility. That was the last thing he said, is indestructibility. Nothing can break her skin. And he goes, what do you mean nothing can break her skin? It's like you're saying that she's part Nemean lion. And she goes, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. The doctor said her skin is indestructible. And with that, she's increased strength from her lion side, increased speed and agility from her scorpion side, and the effects of the flying allow her to speed up really quickly with flapping her wings. So she's kind of overpowered. And Aizawa goes, oh, okay. Is there anything that I need to be worried about when I take her back? And they go, yes. What you need to be worried about is what she eats. And he goes, what do you mean? She goes, so we've been stung by her twice, and both times had a different effect. The first time was poisonous. And he goes, what do you mean poisonous? And they go, well, apparently earlier that day, she accidentally went face first into a poisonous frog that lives in the forest. And he goes, so she's not dead. And they go, no, she's immune to poison. But she ate it. And he goes, what? And she goes, yeah, she ate it. And since she ate it, her poison was the more potent version of that frog's poison. And he goes, okay, and she's the only one who has the antidote. And he goes, what do you mean? And Maddie goes, well, if she drinks anti-venom of that frog, she'll produce the anti-venom. If she drinks the poison of that frog, she'll produce the poison of the frog. If she drinks sleeping drugs, she'll produce the sleeping drug. And as I was like, how? And Maddie goes, I don't know. You're asking someone who doesn't know the chemical compound of dirt. What the chemical compound of a drug is? Don't ask me how it works. And he goes, fine. So can you tell me what it is that I'm supposed to be doing if something like this happens? And they go, it seems like the first thing that she eats that day is the thing that she produces all day. So, if you can get her to eat paralytics, or a natural paralytic poison, or a sleeping drug before she eats anything else, she won't produce anything else. And if she accidentally stings someone, it's safe. And we've been stung twice. Remember that? And he goes, okay. And she goes, sorry. And they go, oh, don't worry. Now you should get going before she goes to her full form today. And he goes, is that why you wanted me to come early in the morning? And they go, kind of. It happens at midnight, when she changes from her full form to her small form. He goes, then why didn't I come at midnight? And they go, oh, because she has 3 hours from noon, where she's also in small form. And he goes, so it's almost noon. And he goes, yeah, her small form should be arriving now. And she shrinks to the size of a 2-year-old. And she goes, yeah, I really need to learn how to control this. And Tiger goes, why? It's cute. And she goes, yeah, I don't like this form. Aizawa goes, if you learn how to control that form, you must stay that form during my classes. She goes, I don't even plan to go to UA yet. And he goes, exactly, you don't plan yet. I can still convince you to go. And she goes, if you can. He goes, I will try. And his eyes are sparkling at this point, and be like, cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. She's like a cute little kitty cat. And so Aizawa takes her home, and she meets Aizawa's wife, female Mike, because female Mike just seems like a counteraction to Manticore. And she's like, yeah! And Aizawa's like, 3, 2, 1, and Mike falls to the floor face first. And Aizawa walks up to Mike and says, sweetie, I'm not supposed to be loud around the new kids. She goes, yeah, I know. So, Mike is affected by the paralytic because she had a paralytic or a sleeping drug before she woke, or before she left the lodge. And she's going to be interchanging every other day. Is going to be paralytic. In the days that she isn't eating a paralytic, she drinks the whole entire thing of, or just a tiny sip of like NyQuil or something like that to help sleep. So after like 30 minutes, Mike gets back up and says, so you're the new one. And she goes, apparently I'm new. I was promised catnip. Give me some. And he goes, damn it, Mandalay. Fine, I'll get you some. And he walks to his room and he opens the door and all these cats come running out. And she's like, oh my God, you are a cat fanatic. And he goes, I'm not a cat fanatic. We are cat fanatics. And he points at Mike and she goes, what? They're cute. And this little Manticore is like, I do not doubt that. But it's strange. And she goes, well, at least you accept that we're weird. And she goes, no, I accept that you're strange. Because people are strange. Strange. When you're a stranger, faces look ugly. When you're alone. Sorry. I got a song stuck in my head now. But it's now I would turn this off. But it's now a month later after she's gotten settled in. And every night she gets a little tiny bag of catnip every night to help her sleep. And it's just to make her drowsy and doze off slowly while she's awake so she can easily fall asleep. Because if she doesn't easily fall asleep, she thrashes around and there's a chance that she could thrust her tail through a wall or hit the wall really hard. So we have the little cute Manticore, and she goes to school and she meets a kid. And this kid's name is Mina Ashido. And this kid is also animal quirk, and she has a dog quirk. A cattish dog. As long as it's not a Chihuahua quirk, I'm fine. With the quirk being a dog quirk. Or an angry Pomeranian quirk. But she meets Mina and they hit it off almost immediately because Mina's an energetic, joyful person. And so is the Manticore. And I'm going to kind of make a weird name for her, but her name is going to be Maya. Her name is Maya. And the sergeant, or commanding officer of the special unit, is now in prison, by the way. Because the unit's like, whoa. Abandoning your child is just way too far. Hating on them, okay, you can voice your opinions. But abandoning your own child because they had a mutation quirk, that's way too far. So he got kicked out of the military, even though he was one of the best people you could possibly be. And this group is scouting her. Maya. This group is scouting Maya. And they're just like, she's perfect for it. So they wait. They sit and wait in the background, just watching. And Maya grows up with a pretty much normal life. She starts to call Aizawa dad and Mandalay mom, because she sees Mandalay more as a mother than Mike. She calls Mike aunt. It's weird for her, but it's like she has two mothers, but she prefers Mandalay over Mike, because Mike is still really loud. So we go to... They're 10. And she's the size of an 18-year-old. But she has control over her size manipulation now, where she can go to the size of a 2-year-old to 18-year-old as she wishes. So she stays at the size of a 10-year-old. And she's had complete control over her poison now, so she can, depending on what she eats, she can choose what to produce. And she just produces sleeping poison now, or a sleeping drug, that if one little poke makes her sleep, makes the other person sleep for a long time, but they still just sleep. And she's going through the schools, and Mina's following her at this point. And this kid named Kirishima runs into them and says, sorry, I didn't mean to. And she's like, oh, don't worry. It was my fault. I wasn't paying attention. And Mina goes, oh, you're that kid, Kirishima, was it? And they start talking, and she sees the blush on Kirishima's face and is like, ooh. If Mina notices, she's gonna ship herself with him, because I know Mina likes him. That's why she knows his name. And she's just giggling to herself now, and Kirishima sees this and is like, are you okay? And she goes, yeah, perfectly fine. So, Mina, I have a question for you. And Mina has dark skin, really, really dark skin, so she doesn't have the visibility of someone being able to see if she's blushing or not. And she's been able to hide it very well. Maddie goes right next to her face and says, you like him, don't you? And Maddie has the abilities to sense a change in temperature really easily. And Mina goes, no. And her face is going completely red underneath her skin, because the temperature in her face is rising because she's embarrassed and nervous. And Maddie goes, okay, I know what you really feel. And she walks away and says, toodaloo, Kirishima, Mina's open today. You just take her if you want. And he goes, and Mina's like, thanks, Maddie. Oh, crap. And Maddie walks away because it's the end of the day. She walks home and she says, oh, hey, Dad. I kind of hooked my friend up with a boy. And he goes, that Mina chick? And she goes, yeah, that Mina chick. She had a crush on someone. That's how she knew his name. He came up and actually talked to us this time. He did something with his hair. Looks good now. And he goes, okay. And she goes, ooh, I wonder, does that dog like who I think he likes? And she's thinking about this kid that has a dog mutation with the ability to shoot explosions out of his hand. And he yells and shouts everywhere. And the only person he doesn't yell and shout at is a girl with pretty much a mutation that makes her cheeks pink all the time. And her face is round like a bowling ball. And she goes, maybe I could get Mina to help me ship them. And Mina basically pops her head through the window going, you summon? And she goes, you need to stop doing that. And she goes, what? I could choose to teleport to whoever calls out my name. So, and I can bring as many people as I want. And Kirsten was like, well, what the hell just happened? And Maddie's like, oh my god. Your parents are going to be calling you in 3, 2, 1. And she's like, oh crap, my parents are calling me. Kirishima, you're coming with me. And she grabs Kirishima's collar and teleports away. And Aizawa's like, oh crap. Mina Ashido. And Mina teleports back and you're like, yes? Oh crap. Hey, Racerhead. And he goes, call me Aizawa. And she goes, okay, Dadzawa. And he goes, no. And he flares his quirk. And she goes, oh, scary. Yes, Mr. Aizawa? And he goes, don't use your quirk without permission. And she goes, sorry. I'll walk home. And he goes, where's Kirishima? And she goes, at my house. In my room. And Maddie's about to bust out laughing. And she goes, damn, you be bold. And then she busts out laughing. And Mina goes completely red in the face, where you can see it through her dark skin pigmentation from her mutation. And Aizawa goes, you can use your quirk now to get out of this situation before it's even more awkward for you. And she goes, thank you. And she teleports away. And she shows up right in front of Kirishima, and I'll end it there for Kirishima and Mina. We go back to Maddie. And he goes, okay, you can go to your true form now. And she goes to her 18-year-old form, and she goes, holy crap, that hurts to be in normal form so long, for child form so long. And he goes, you really need to stop hiding your intelligence. She goes, but it's fun being with friends, and especially acting the age they do. And he goes, yeah, but your intelligence is that of a 40-year-old. Your strength is that of All Might. And on top of that, you have claws, fangs, cat ears, and a scorpion tail. You could also fly. And she goes, yeah, I know. I could pretty much be a pro hero by now. And he goes, no. Not pretty much. I'm taking you to the test tomorrow. And she goes, what? And he goes, yes, I already cleared you from school for tomorrow. I'm taking you to the test tomorrow, and in 4 years, you are going to be a teacher at UA. And she goes, jerk. And he goes, don't you dare call me a jerk. You're going to be a 1A teacher for 2 years. And then the next year, you're going to be taking that class all the way to year 3. And she goes, so Mina's going to be in my class. And he goes, if she makes it. And she goes, okay. So we now have to wait. So we skip to after the test, and she has her license, and she goes, oh my god, that was so freaking hard. I don't want to do that ever again. And he goes, don't worry, you don't have to. You can use your quirk anywhere now. And she goes, oh, crap, this is going to suck. So the next day after that, she walks into school and says, I'm dropping school. And Mina goes, what? And Kirishima was like, and she goes, don't worry. I've already done this schooling. I already have my hero license. And Mina goes, whoa. What do you mean you have it already? And she goes, oh, my true form is that of a 18-year-old. And she shifts to her 18-year-old form and says, this is what I truly look like. You've just been seeing my 10-year-old form. And Kirishima was like, damn. And Mina punches him in the arm saying, no. And he goes, I know, but still, damn. What he sees is this in the picture. He sees this. Yes, he sees this. Holy crap. Yeah. But they see this and they're like, wait, what? And she goes, yes, this is my true form. I'm apparently needed in Discord, so I'm going to have to end this a little early. So, they're thinking about this, and they put it together. That's why she acts so mature around them, because she's mentally an 18-year-old. And she goes, no, I'm not. I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not. I'm mentally a 25-year-old. And they go, okay. And she goes, yeah, I'll see you at UA, by the way. We skipped to the entrance exams of UA. Mina and Kirishima are breaking down robots, pulverizing robots. And I'm like, oh god, this is gonna freaking suck. And Kirishima's like, aw, don't be that way. You can see your best friend again. And she goes, yeah, my best friend who left me when I was 10 to be a hero. And he goes, well, I think so. And she goes, yeah, she left me to be a hero. And he goes, no. Do you not remember her saying that her dad forced her? And she goes, yes, I do remember that, but she chose to be a hero. She could have at least kept in contact. And he goes, wait, she didn't? She goes, no. And he goes, well, she's been keeping in contact with me. And Mia goes, the hell? He goes, yeah, I'll let her explain. And she goes, Kirishima, explain now. And he goes, gotta go, bye. And he darts off, destroying more robots in the way. And she's like, oh god, I'm gonna rip him limb from limb. And she's laughing her ass off in the monitoring room because she sees Kirishima and Mina arguing. And the test is over, and she's like, Nezu, I'm gonna go say hi to our students. And he goes, okay, very well. And so she walks out of the room, and the room is this little box in the middle, in the outside of the exam area. And she spreads her wings, and her wings are huge. And she flaps her wings and starts flying. And while she's in midair, she transforms from a human form to the Manticore form. And she flies to the ground where Mina and Kirishima are, and she roars as loud as possible. And Kirishima, he starts sweating. Mina, she gets pissed off. And everybody else is freaking the frick out. And they're looking around, where did that come from? And they look up in the sky and they see a monster. And this monster lands on top of them, without crushing them. And the monster starts to change from giant form to human form. And she is wearing this. See you. Crap. I freaking hate yawning. So she transforms into this form, and she's mentally older than most people there, and she feels this presence behind her. And she turns around and she sees a little grape dude. And she goes, why the hell did they let a ball sack like you into school? And he's drooling at the mouth, and she goes, yeah, instant fail. You're not getting into Class 1A. And she looks at Kirishima and Mina and goes, I'll give you a 95. You, and she looks directly at Mina and she goes, you, a big old hug. And she basically teleports with how fast she moves and hugs her and goes, been a while. And Mina's like, yes, it has. And she uses her heat in her nails, because she does have the ability to light her nails on fire. And she tries to scratch Maddie. And she goes, wait, whoa. So violent. I only left you for 7 years. And she goes, yeah, you left me for 7 years. You left me for 7 years. UA's a college, and you left me in 10 or when I was 10. So I'd like to know what you've been doing these last 7 years. And she goes, one, I had to get my hero's license from my father. He kind of forced me to. And Aizawa shows up and goes, oh God. And he starts walking away, and all of a sudden, he thinks Mina. And she teleports in front of him and goes, you thought of me, allowed me in. And he goes, oh crap. And she's like, damn, Mina's gotten faster. And Mina teleports in front of her and goes, nope, I've gotten more control. So I know when people are thinking of my name, and I can teleport to them now. And she goes, oh, okay. How about this? Can you tell what I'm thinking now? And she goes, yes and no, I'm not doing that. She goes, but he's ready. And she goes, hell no. And she goes, damn. Your friggin' mind reading is overpowered. And she goes, no, it is not. It is a curse and a blessing. I can only read people's mind if they're thinking about me. Which is a blessing, but... oh, crap. That also means that all the perverts that think about me, I see what they're thinking. And at this point, Mineta is thinking of Maddie and Mina together in a couple. And she teleports in front of Mineta and says, hey, purple ball sack, get that image out of your goddamn head. And he goes, what do you mean? And she goes, that exact image right there. Right in your goddamn head, or I'll fucking punt you across the entire town. And she's gritting her teeth now, and Maddie walks up and says, whoa, there's no fighting between test applicants. But honestly, she's right. I'll punt you across town if you don't get that image out of your head. Because I know what you're thinking without actually having mind reading. And he goes, fine. And he walks away. And she goes, stop thinking about it. And he goes, I can't. And she goes, you better, or she's punting you. And now he's thinking of her punting him. And what she would do after the punt. So she looks at all the test applicants and says, go away. We don't want you here anymore. Go away. Test is over. Go away. And they start going, okay. And Aizawa goes, damn, you're a lot crueler than I am. And she goes, no, I'm just more misunderstood than you are. He goes, true. And she goes, it does help that I'm part Nemean lion. And Mina goes, wait, what? She goes, yeah. Do you not remember the story of the Nemean lion from the Herculean tasks? And she goes, I do remember the story. The story was that Hercules slew a lion that had indestructible skin, and he used the pelt as a garment. And she goes, yeah. Try scratching me. And she holds out her arm, and Mina goes, okay. And she uses her heat and tries to scratch her. Nothing happens. She goes, that was warm. It tickled. Stop. And she goes, okay. And she goes, don't worry. I can still take blunt force trauma. And she goes, oh, okay. Let's continue to catch up. And so they leave, and they are talking. Aizawa's hanging back because he knows if he gets in the middle of that, he's going to be chewed up and spit out. And he's walking with Kirishima next to him, and Kirishima's like, hey, Mr. Aizawa? And he goes, just call me Shota right this second. You'll call me Mr. Aizawa later. And he goes, Shota, what do you make of that? And he points at the two girls in front of them, and he goes, oh, friendly bond. That's it. He goes, what do you mean friendly bond? And he goes, oh, Maddie is not interested in love. Well, besides putting people together, she's not interested in love. And Kirishima was like, so she was interested in putting me and Mina together. And he goes, yeah. Maddie doesn't care if she finds love or not. And Kirishima goes, oh, okay. Do you know why? And he goes, no. She has told me that she has a special gift that no one else has, but that's pretty much it. And he goes, oh, okay, good talk, I guess? And he goes, yeah, good talk. So, we go to the first day UA, and Maddie is in child form, and she's just playing with some blocks in the back. She's in 2-year-old form. And everybody walks in, sees her, and goes, why is a child in this room? And she just continues to play with the blocks, and Bakugo sees her and goes, whatever, and sits down. Mina walks in and goes, oh, so cute! And Mina has been tasked with playing the part of a girl who likes random little children. And if Mina plays it off right, she will get a training session off. And she was tasked to train with Maddie for the last week to make sure she could stay in 1A. So Mina has been training with Maddie for the last week, and she's horrified of Maddie's training sessions. So you guys are going to need to help me come up with a name for a Manticore hero. Just saying, the Manticore hero. Manticore is just weird. No. Give me a good name for the Manticore hero. For a Manticore hero. And it can't be Manticore. So, if you guys want to submit your suggestions, join the Discord and message me on Discord, because I can easily keep track of them that way. At me on Discord. That's how you can get my attention. So Maddie is just playing with the blocks, and Mina runs in, and she acts all playful with Maddie, and Maddie acts like a 2-year-old. And she's a really good actor at this point because she's had to use her acting for multiple things. And so the bell rings, and Mina goes and sits down, and Maddie's still playing with the blocks. And everybody's still talking, and Maddie's like, oh, screw this. And she changes to her adult form. And she just gets up, walks to a leather chair, and sits down on it. And she kicks up the footrest, and everybody hears the clicking of a footrest, and they turn around, and they see an adult. And they're like, oh, what just happened? And Mina's in her seat, acting like nothing's happened, and she's quiet. And she's trying her hardest not to laugh, because she sees their faces. So Maddie looks up and says, are you guys done chatting? And they go, And the tail flicks around, and they see the tail of the child. And they're like, wait, what? And I'll be right back. So they're looking at this 18-year-old and like, who are you? And she goes, well, first off, I was the pro hero in disguise as a child over there. And they look at her and go, can you please repeat that? And she goes, yeah, sure. I'm a pro hero that was disguised as a child right there. And all you are idiots for not noticing me, because I am the pro hero, also known as Manticore, because I need a name. I need a name and a nickname as the Manticore, because she transforms into a Manticore. The dragon hero, Rukyu. I need a name for Manticore. The Manticore hero, blank. So help me with that. It's almost done. And she walks up to the front and goes, so, everybody here is my age. And they go, you've been a pro hero for 7 years. How are you our age? And she goes, the same way I can become a small child. And she becomes a small child and flaps up to the top of the podium and goes, see, I'm a small child now. And Baku's like, whatever, damn extra. And she just flips him off. You're like, I don't care what your problem with me is, but don't call people's extras until after you've seen their abilities. I know for a fact you haven't seen all my abilities. And he goes, whatever. And he just starts looking out the window again. And she goes, I have a feeling I'm going to whip you into shape really quickly. And he goes, whatever. And he just keeps saying that. And she goes, oh, you're going to get me pissed off. And Aizawa rolls in saying, test in 5 minutes. And she goes, it's taken them 10 minutes just to calm down. They still need to get out there. And he goes, I know. That's why I said in 5. I normally would give them 15 at the beginning of class. But no, they get 5 minutes to get out there or they're expelled. And she goes, I agree. And she takes out the uniforms and throws them into the air and says, go. And she transforms into the 18-year-old and jumps out the window. And she transforms into the Manticore, and she runs over to the training field area, and they're like, okay. And Mina's already gone. She found her size and left. So she's in the changing room, and she's getting changed, and Hagakure's with her. Because who looks at Hagakure? And Hagakure's like, damn, you look good. And she goes, thank you. It's been hell the last week, but thank you. And I've been tasked to be a good student for this first day, or I have to do more training than normal today. So I suggest we get out there before the 5 minutes is up. And she's like, 4 minutes up. And she darts out there, and she gets out there with 1 second remaining. She goes, done. And Maddie goes, good job. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. She goes, good job. Next test, ball throw. And she tosses the ball to Mina, and Mina's like, okay. And she walks into the circle, and everybody starts getting out, and they're just slowly walking. She goes, you know the expulsion was a joke, and now you're all failing. And they go, what? And she goes, yeah, you're all failing. You know why? And they go, no. And she goes, because you didn't get out here on time. And she looks at Aizawa, who's currently next to her, and she goes, so, you got the button? And he goes, yeah, I do. And he clicks the button, and it shows everybody's score, except for Mina's and Hagakure's, as 0. Mina's and Hagakure's are a NA, not applicable. And I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this part. Hopefully you didn't get lost in my ranting at the beginning. But if you did, sorry. I will try to explain it better if you guys want me to. But talk to you guys later.